Hi, it's Betty again from the big pink chair bringing you an urgent call for help. This is the story of Jonathan Hoang of Arlington, Washington. So buckle up, people. Let's go among the missing. 21-year-old Jonathan Hoang was last seen in Arlington, Washington on March 30th, which is just a little bit over a week ago, 2025. It was a week ago Sunday. He left home that evening without his jacket, shoes, or phone and never returned. Now, that thing about the shoes isn't, I guess, is literally true, but it isn't specifically true. He did have a pair of shoes on, but they weren't his. More on that in a minute. Jonathan Hoang was born on August 30th, 2004. He lives with his family in the 18,000 block of 114th Drive Northeast in Arlington, Washington. Hoang has high functioning autism and is described as a caring and wholesome person. He loves to walk around the neighborhood. However, his family says it's uncharacteristic of him to go out of the house without permission. Hoang has been classified as an endangered missing person. His family says he may be having trouble finding his way back home. He is verbal, but likely does not know his address or phone numbers for relatives. Now, I have read that they have tried teaching him over and over again his address and, for example, his mom's phone number, his dad's phone number, but he only remembers it on a very short term basis and then he doesn't know again. So that's why he's unlikely not to know his address or the phone number of relatives, not because they haven't tried to teach it to him, but because he only has short term memorization capabilities. Around 7:30 p.m. on March 30th, 2025, Jonathan Hoang left his family's home through the back door. He did not take a jacket, shoes, again, he didn't take a pair of his shoes, or phone with him. However, it is believed that he has his iPad with him, which does not have cellular capabilities. Authorities from Snohomish Island and King counties have searched the wooded areas around his house. However, no clues as to where his whereabouts were found. If Jonathan's iPad happens to connect to Wi-Fi, the family would be notified. However, they believe the device has already died. Anyone who lives in the area near Hoang's home is asked to check their home surveillance videos to see if they captured any sightings of him. Hoang's family has set up a GoFundMe to help raise funds to hire a private investigator. Again, more on that in just a moment. He's a white Asian male who was born again on August 30th, 2004. He stands 5'10" tall and weighs 135 pounds. Jonathan was last known to be wearing a green polo t-shirt, khaki pants, and his mother's black slip-on shoes. Now I have a picture here. These are not the exact articles of clothing he was wearing, but it is a representative picture of what he is wearing, gathered from internet searches and then put together as a composite photo. So you see the green or the khakis are kind of look like cargo pants. He's got black slip-on shoes and a green short sleeve polo shirt. Again, these are representative pictures of the clothing that he was last seen wearing before he left his house. The Snohomish County Sheriff's Office, or CSCO, suspended the search Monday, which would be yesterday, for Jonathan Hoang. Now a family without answers is clinging to hope that he's alive or that someone picked him up that night and is keeping him safe. Search and rescue crews searched for him in the area around his home Monday through Thursday. Now this would be the 31st through this past Thursday, which was, um, I believe, the 3rd, maybe, of April, and completed a final extensive search Saturday, which would have been this past Saturday, April 5th, when more than 150 volunteers from 5 county search and rescue teams combed through every accessible area near Hoang's home. Search and rescue teams searched for him in the area around his home, again Monday through Thursday, and completed that final extensive search on Saturday. Hoang has autism, and his family said he may be having trouble finding his way back home. Family members said he struggles with problem solving and tends to shut down when presented with a stressful situation or a problem that he doesn't know how to address. More of a preteen mindset, said his father. He's very innocent. He's very open to helping people. His dad added that he has never run away and is a, quote, creature of comforts, unquote. Courtney O'Keefe, the director of communications for the Snohomish County Sheriff's Office, said Monday, quote, the search has been suspended pending any further tips, evidence recovery, etc., end quote. And then she added, quote, at this time there's no foul play or any suspicious activities suspected, end quote. Wang's family indicated they plan to search for him at their own expense. Hence, the um, the GoFundMe account set up so they can hire a private investigator and maybe also use some other additional means to help find Jonathan. That GoFundMe account again was set up to collect donations. Hoang said his case is now in the hands of the Sheriff's Office Major Crime Unit. Now, Jonathan's sister, whom we'll hear, I'll read a couple of quotes from in just a moment, said that on on the Facebook page that since the sheriff's office has transferred Jonathan's case to major crimes, they aren't getting very many updates or having trouble getting any communication from that office. But there's a lot of, unfortunately, in this time, a lot of major crimes going on, said Hoang. Now, this is Jonathan's dad speaking here, Tao Hoang. So we are trying to be patient, but it's never fast enough, right? On the night he disappeared, Hoang said he had previously asked him if he could go for a walk. So Jonathan had asked earlier that evening, asked his father if he could go for a walk. However, his dad said that Jonathan came back just before 7 p.m. Interesting because it's noted the last time he was seen was half an hour later at 7:30 p.m. And video shared exclusively with King 5, which is a local news station, corroborates that. Hoang said his son then went to his bedroom, but when his mom checked on him in the morning, he wasn't there. His first instinct is that maybe someone picked him up in a car. Maybe this is his dad, a quote from his dad again. Maybe he got out for whatever reason was prompted, but somebody might have lured him out, or somebody might have asked him for help and got him out of the house in a panic situation, said Hoang. And he disappeared that way, trying to help somebody, end quote. He does, and this is more quotations from Mr. Hoang. He doesn't take his iPad anywhere unless he knows he's going on a car ride for a long distance. Also, an interesting fact, um, because that's the only thing he did take with him was his iPad. So that's something else to digest. Even though he has an intellectual disability, Jonathan Hoang's age lawfully precludes sheriff's deputies from researching the online traffic from his IP address on his devices. That is something his dad says is frustrating. Quote, we have to get some professional assistance to help with go and traverse the labyrinth of all the reality to get guardianship. It's really difficult. It can be done, but because he's not present, it's really difficult, said Wang. We have to see what we can do from paperwork trail, and because he is 21, so legally he is an adult, we don't have guardianship, end quote. He expressed regret for not going through the legal process of becoming his son's adult son's legal guardian before this happened. Again, he's quoted as saying, "We were at a job fair for him just probably 6 weeks ago, and there was counsel there, and they said, 'Yeah, we can help you with this.' And we took the flyers, and it's just on our to-do list, and we just not get there," he said. Tearfully, he also said, quote, "I didn't protect him. I didn't protect my family or my wife," end quote. They're now issuing a plea to anyone with information of his whereabouts. Quote, "We'd like him back. We're not going to press any charges. People make mistakes, and that's all right," end quote, said Hoang. Jonathan Hoang is verbal, can have a conversation, and will respond to his name, Jonathan. However, he likely does not know his address or phone numbers for relatives again. SCSO has been using search and rescue volunteers, professional trackers, scent dogs from multiple counties, drones, helicopters with infrared cameras, technology specialists to search Huang's devices, searchers with expertise in autism, and crews with mountaineering experience and experience with technical terrain in their search. This is because, as I'll explain in a minute, that the area near his house is very, very, very forested, covered with trees all along the terrain. However, there has been no sign or indication of where he could have gone, according to an update posted to his high school's Facebook page. Okay, now I'm going to quote from his sister Irene Huang Pfister. "I'm frightened that because of the label, him being autistic, the people searching for him made an assumption, that he just wandered off, but we think that someone took him." End quote. Pfister said the Snohomish County Sheriff's deputies told her they won't search again, that as an adult, he is free to leave. They said, this is a quote from her again, "Because there is no evidence of a crime taking place or foul play has taken place, they don't think there's much that major crimes will do," she said, which is really, it was devastating to hear yesterday. End quote. Again, that's when they called off the search, was yesterday. They said because, oh, I'm sorry, I just read that. Hello. I have seen a map of the area where he disappeared, and it's very rural, surrounded by lots of forest area, and has a nearby river, the Stillaguamish. The road is very short. It's not a huge long road covering miles and miles and miles. And there are very few houses in the area. My immediate concern is the river. If they've spent a lot of hours and had dogs out and have searched the forested areas around his home, maybe they haven't searched quite far enough from his home, or I don't see any indication where they might have had divers or boats out or anything searching the river. Now, I don't know how deep the river is, how fast it's flowing, but it seems to be a pretty long river, pretty major river in the Arlington, Washington area. If I'm shaking a little bit, it's because my cat is behind me trying to look out the window. She just moved my camera, so if you'll excuse me, I'm going to move it back, but she's pushing against the monitor on which my webcam is resting. So if I appear to be shimmying a little bit, it's because of the cat, and I apologize, but she's a cat. Um, just a month or so ago, a little 2-year-old went missing, and he had a there was a river that ran near his house, and they searched the river for a couple of days before someone found him a couple miles down the river on the bottom of the riverbed. So I they didn't find him right away. Oh, there's her tail. They didn't find him right away, even though he they looked in that river, and he was in the river, the little 2-year-old boy. And maybe, I hope not, but possibly he's in the river, or he's in a forested area just beyond the perimeters of the forests that the woods that they have searched. I don't know. It gives me pause that they had several tracking dogs out there and cadaver dogs, and they didn't hit on his scent at all, which makes me think that also that maybe he was picked up in a car, got in a car into a car, but would he, given his autistic tendencies to shut down in stressful situations, would he have gotten in a car with somebody he didn't know? I don't know. These are lots of unanswered questions. I don't have the answers to these questions, and quite probably neither does anybody else at this time. I'm going to show you a couple pictures of Jonathan. This is a picture of him, his smiling face. He seems to have a mole on one cheek and a mole. I don't know if I'm going to try to see. On the same, he has a mole on his cheek, and then just under the one eyebrow on the same side of his face, on his in the corner of one eyebrow, he also seems to have another mole there. And I believe he has a mole on his right inner forearm. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I think I heard that on one of the um, podcasters that I follow that has been covering this case. So it's really, really important that you take a look at him. If you live in the area, or even if you don't, I mean, if he was taken by someone, he could be certainly in another state by now. If you have any information regarding the disappearance of Jonathan Hoang, please contact the Arlington Police Department at 360-403-4300. That's 360-403-4300. Or call 911. If you have seen something or heard something about Jonathan since he went missing, say something. Please share this in your social media and with your family and friends. He needs you. His family needs you. I appreciate you. Thanks so much for your help and for watching this video. If you would, please like and subscribe. Let's get the word out about Jonathan. And until next time, I will be wandering among the missing. Bye.